Hey scholars, this is your problem of the day and writing prompt. It is Tuesday, April 7th. We're going to start off with our problem of the day. Okay, we are bringing back read, draw, write. So over here in the corner, I'm going to have what step we're on the whole time. First is to read it. Scott has 28 toy cars to put on 4 shelves. He wants to put the same number of cars on each shelf. How many toy cars should Scott put on each shelf? Okay, so we read the question. If you need to read it again, you may pause it or go back. So Scott has 28 cars to put on 4 shelves. He wants to put the same number of cars on each shelf. How many toy cars should Scott put on each shelf? All right, now that we've read it, I want you to take your paper and draw what you need to find this answer. So go ahead and pause this video, see if you can do it on your own, and then I'll walk you through the steps. All right, we're going to start our drawing step. The first thing I did was I drew 4 shelves. You should have 4 shelves. I drew these lines on your paper. That's going to represent our 4 shelves. Alternatively, you could have drawn 4 circles and then filled them in, but I chose shelves. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we need to divide this 28 into the 4 shelves. And we want each of the shelves to be equal. So I want you to pause this video and think, how can I distribute equally 28 cars on 4 shelves? If you know how to do it, go ahead and pause the video. If you need a reminder, I'm going to continue on. So I'm going to start by putting 1 toy on each shelf. So I can distribute the toys equally among the 4 shelves. So this is my first toy car. I've already put it on this first shelf. And then I'm going to work this way. That's my second toy car, my third toy car, and I'm going to keep adding by shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go back to this shelf. 5, 6, and you're going to keep going until you count to 28. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you're going to keep adding until you get to 28. So pause the video right now and do that on your own. Okay, so now that you've put 28 toy cars onto your shelves, like I did here, you should know how many are on each shelf. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to count. This last number was 28 for me. We're going to count. We already know we have 4 shelves, but we're going to count, okay, how many did he put on each shelf? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I see that there are 7, and all of these rows are equal. There are 7, 7, 7, and 7 on each shelf. I'm going to label. This kind of looks like an array to me. Remember, an array is a series. This is representing a total number. And we can label this array by saying, okay, how many are in this column and how many are in this row? Remember, rows go across like this and columns go up and down like you'd see on a building. So I'm going to label my array. I know that there are 4 in this column and there are 7 in this row. So I have 4 rows and I have 7 columns. Okay, the next step is we need to think, what kind of equation can we make to find the total number using the number of rows and columns? So I want you to pause and think about this. What equation can we use to solve for the total number using the number of rows and the number of columns? If you said multiplication, you are on the money. So we can multiply our 4 rows by our 7 columns, and that gives us a total of 28. So when we're finding the total of arrays, we're going to multiply the number of rows and the number of columns to find the total number. So we're still on our draw. So we have drawn our array. we labeled the rows and the columns, and we created this multiplication fact that we know that came from this drawing. But that's not quite what our answer is. Our answer is not 28 because the question's asking us how many toy cars should Scott put on each shelf. So we know he has 4 shelves. This is representing the number, I'm going to try to write with this, the number of shelves. Shelves. We know that this number, excuse me for that handwriting, this number is representing the total amount of toy cars. So we know that this 7, this is representing the number of cars on each shelf. I'm going to just write number of cars. So we know that there are going to be 7 cars on each shelf. And we know that because we found this multiplication equation and because we drew it out. We see this with our own eyes because we drew it. So the next step is to write. This is going to go away. Scott, we're on the right step. Scott put 7 toy cars on each shelf. We solved the problem. But I hid the multiple choice from you because I knew you could solve it on your own. So now, when we're given these multiple choice answers, now let's find it. We can use our pen to eliminate wrong answers. So, remember, the question is, how many toy cars should Scott put on each shelf? So, A, 32, because 4 plus 28 is 32. Okay, well, 4 plus 28, that is 32, but is 32 the answer? Is that how many he puts on each shelf? No, he doesn't even have 32 to begin with. He only has 28. B, 112, because 28 times 4 is 112. Okay, 28 times 4 is 112, but 112, again, he doesn't even have that many toy cars. He only has 28 toy cars. So how could he put that number on the shelf? Let's go to C. 7, because 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, well, here we said that he put 7 toy cars on each shelf, and we also know that this was right, and this was the equation that we found right here. So that's looking like the right answer. Let's double check D just to make sure. 24, because 28 minus 24 is 4. Okay, so again, they're giving us an equation that makes sense. That's right. But he didn't put 24 on each shelf. We found that he put 7 on each shelf. So we know that the answer is C. And you guys found that answer without even looking at the answer choices. And that's a smart way to figure out a problem on your own. Okay, this is a tough one, but I am sure that you all did wonderfully. And I am proud of the work that you're putting in. If you need a refresher on arrays, I would do this problem again. Okay, let's go to our writing prompt now. Our writing prompt for today is, pick a person that you would like to write a biography about. A biography is a piece of work about a person's life. You can choose who to write about. It can be someone that you know, maybe a family member or a friend, or it can be someone famous or not famous that you research about. So I want to make sure that you include at least 5 facts about this person and their life. If it's someone that you know, you can ask them questions. Maybe it's somebody that you live with and you can ask them. Maybe it's somebody that you can call over the phone and you can ask them. And if it's someone that you don't know, you can research to find the information similarly to how we researched our planets. Special option is I would love to see a picture of this person after you write their biography. It can be a beautiful masterpiece, or you can do a quick doodle of this person. So I want you guys to think back maybe to 2nd grade for those of you who did the museum research about a person. You could pick that person, but remember you're looking up information about someone, about their life, maybe where they lived, where they were born, and what they're famous for, or what they're good at. So this is your writing prompt for today. I hope you have an awesome Tuesday, scholars. Can't wait to see what you come up with.